Hello and welcome. This is episode 18 of Voorhess Tiger Vision. We're here with the coach, head men's basketball coach, Coach Gabriel Ho. Coach, we had a week off last week, but how's everything going?
It's a great day here in Denmark, South Carolina. Uh, it's hustling and bustling down here again. You know, everybody's back on campus, so we're ready to go. Classes start tomorrow. It's time to get it.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Coach, I got to ask this. Move-in day uh, took place. We've talked a lot about what life was going to be like getting these guys back on campus. Well, now they're here. Um,
Mhm.
First, let me ask this: did everybody arrive safely? Everybody good? Everything going well? We getting everybody oriented on campus.
Everything is good. I think our freshmen and transfers have experienced the Voorhees way in every way possible. Even tonight, they're at a legacy dinner as we speak. So they're getting indoctrinated into the Voorhees community and learning what Voorhees is about. Haven't had a lot of time for themselves yet. Really, with just getting on campus, doing all the stuff, learning everything about campus, learning the people about campus. But that's what college life is about, and that's really what life is about at HBCU. And when we tell families and we tell players that we're really family here, that's what it's about. So, they're getting mentors that have nothing to do with basketball, and that's what family is about at HBCU, and especially here at Voorhees.
For sure. Um, Big Dave in the building. What's up, man?
What's up, Dave?
Um, so, Coach, you mentioned everybody getting a chance to understand what Denmark is. Uh, have they gone to my favorite restaurant, which is now my favorite restaurant in Denmark? Amazing food, but has everybody went and got fried chicken from Tully's yet?
If they haven't, they've probably seen some other establishments, maybe Little Howie's in Bamberg, maybe Cliff Seafood in Bamberg. I know a couple tried that, so they're getting there. But the calf has really been hitting home runs with the food, so they've been killing it in the calf already.
And you can't pass up when right there on campus is getting you connected and serving you up right for sure. Um, Coach, what is it like right now with students actually being on campus? A little bit different of a look for these guys than the guys that were with you last year, right?
Well, not just our guys at campus. Period. You got to realize it's been about a year and a half uh, since people have really the whole campus has been open per se.
Mhm.
Last year was just athletes, so it's a lot different. You don't want to say back to normal, but it's back to what a college campus should feel like.
Mhm.
With the hustle and bustle and people moving about and all that. We're still being safe down here at Voorhees. Everybody had to come in and get tested, and they're going to get tested every 2 weeks. Uh, every student is going to get tested every 2 weeks. We've got to wear masks no matter where we are. So we're trying to be as safe as possible. You've got our facilities crew going around cleaning everything after somebody's been there. So we're trying to do a great job to make sure our students stay safe, and so far so good. And we're going to continue that during the season. We're going to continue a lot of our protocols that we had last year as far as athletics go, based off our athletic director Charlene Johnson and our nurse Suzanne Williams. So we feel we can keep everybody safe, and we're just glad to get everybody back on campus. I think the students are glad to get back on campus. I know if I go back to my student days trying to learn online, I wouldn't have been successful. So hats off and kudos, to these students who are able to do it, and even our basketball team, being able to have a over 3.0 GPA without seeing a professor face to face. That's kudos to them. So we want to, get even better this year with our GPA.
That's huge. A couple things that you said there were really big. One, I talked to a lot of high school kids, and I was shocked that the feedback that I was getting about online school was basically the same from even high school kids. You would think that giving a young high school kid, 14, 15, 16 years old, the ability to say, nah, I'm not going to go to class today. I'm just going to take my class online, that they would love that. Talk to so many athletes that was like, no, I'm ready to go back to school. Like, this is, I don't like this online stuff. It was much tougher than I think anybody realized. So the type of resilience that it took for them to get through all the challenges that we've talked about all year long, as far as not being able to get on campus until January, taking your classes online, the tough road schedule that you guys had last year. It's really commendable. And I think a lot of people kind of gloss over that, but our athletes and our young people faced a lot of challenges last year.
They did, and hats off to our institution. You know, being able to give all these athletes or anybody who asked, really, if they were close enough to come get it, being able to give these athletes Chromebooks last year, so they didn't have a option to say, well, I couldn't go to the library, I didn't have a means to get online, or anybody for that matter. That was one step that helped us. But you know, that socialization, that interaction face to face is something that, you know, kids and everybody, you know, really enjoy. It makes them feel home. It goes back to that family atmosphere that we're talking about. And so when you got these parents that were bringing people down to drop their son or their daughters off here at Voorhess, and allowing us to now be the next step for them, you know, they want to make sure that we're going to take care of them. And that's what we're here to do here at Voorhess. And we're excited to do that.
100%. The other thing that you touched on that I want to make sure that people understand, you mentioned that every student, not just every athlete, but every student on campus is getting tested every 2 weeks.
Yes, sir.
I think that's huge. I mean, I think when you're dealing with any type of virus or infection or anything that is spreadable, a big part of it is knowing your status and knowing where you stand. That is 80% of the work right there. Then it's kind of just having a place for those people who are infected to go and quarantine and heal and all that stuff. But a big part of it is just knowing and testing. That's huge.
It was really big for us last year, even with just the student athletes, but even so much more so this year with everybody back. And I think that's just hats off again to our president, our 10th president, Dr. Ronnie Hopkins, and you know, all the cabinet and the board members and our nurse to really making this thing possible, to making sure all our students get tested every 2 weeks. You know, we didn't mandate every student to get vaccinated. We asked them to. You know, it was something that we asked them to, especially student athletes with what's going on. But even if they did get vaccinated, the opportunity to get tested every 2 weeks, again, like you said, is very, very much a step in the right direction. Not just for Voorhess, but for any college, I feel.
I agree, for sure. It's a big step in the right. And it just shows to me one thing that you've consistently said since you started at Voorhess, that this place is a little bit different. You're not just a number. People really care about you and your well-being and your health and so on and so forth. That's huge, that you guys are making sure that that's getting done. I'm not sure how you guys execute that.
Again, I just say hats off to Nurse Williams. She has a protocol. She has it down pat. You know, obviously when the people came in, they had to select times, what time they were coming in. They have a spot for them to wait until the test comes back before, and they have to show that result to get on campus, because all that happens at one place, and then to get to the rest of the campus, you've got to show that result. And it's been a seamless process. And you know, there's a day every 2 weeks that if you don't do it, and we're not just talking students now, we're talking faculty and staff as well. If you don't do it, there are repercussions if you don't get tested.
Wow. Hey, logistically, that is incredible, right? Organizing that. But to me, again, when you love what you do and it shows, then things like that are the byproduct of that. You start to do amazing things. So I think we've got a video from Move-In Day, and when we talk about people who love what they do, Huff, I love you guys on the coaching staff. I do. You guys are my guys. We have been down like 4 flats. Right. But your academic advisor is one of my favorite people at Voorhess. So I was happy that he got a cameo in the video. His energy for Voorhess College is infectious. His passion, especially for what you're doing with the program, is outstanding, and to have that type of support is incredible. So I was happy you guys were able to give him a cameo here.
Oh man, love Cameron McClain and what he's able to do for this college, not just for us, but for this college, and what he's doing, trying to bring the right students here to Voorhess to make the experience their own. Being an alum really helps. Being someone who loves basketball really helps, but loves this college and loves everything that Voorhess is about. And shout out to Coach O for putting this video together. I think it's top notch. I'm gonna give Coach O his flowers right now. He said, "Call him the white Spike Lee." So there you go.
He certainly got a gift, and I don't want that to be overlooked too. Because that's something that we've talked about as well. That first season, not only did you have to learn new kids, not only did you have to learn about being in a new role and a new job, but you had to learn your staff too. Yep. And seeing you guys out working together, recruiting together, bonding, you can definitely see that you guys are starting to gel as well.
Definitely. That's something, after you play the video, definitely something that we want to talk about. It was something I actually texted my staff today and said, it's so different this year. And we'll talk about it later after we play the video. Let's
go. You got to tell Cam that the next time I come, we got to hit the seafood spot together, man. I owe him dinner. He's great.
Got you.
Here we go.
The day is here. The time has arrived. Fall 2021 move-in day. Welcome to Voorhess College, Fall 21 Welcome Week. My name's Cameron McClain, lead admissions counselor and recruiter here at Voorhess College, and let me be the first to welcome everybody to Voorhess College. Voorhess College was the single most important decision I ever made as an individual. Think about taking a student from a 1.6 to high school to graduating with honors. Even after that, I could have went on to any other institution, but they're not gonna give you that same treatment that we give you down here at Voorhess College. Big Mom and them ain't cooking the same food down there at USC. They ain't got the library over there that is literally the center of HBCU culture. Where else are you gonna walk in and just see iconic African Americans from the past, present, and even the future?
We just started the movie in today. Everything was all cool. And I feel like I'm at home.
Now, if you thought that at Voorhess College, the only thing we do is cultivate you academically, you're wrong. We cultivate you as a man, we cultivate you as a woman, we cultivate you as a professional, and we cultivate you as a leader. And all that is spearheaded by our Greek life. The best of the best, of course, being Alpha Phi Alpha, the first African-American fraternity founded on a collegiate campus.
Man, special to be a part of y'all family with Coach Huff, Coach Jay, Coach Old, man. Y'all did a good job recruiting these kids, man. Excited to see y'all play with a non-conference schedule that y'all put out. Man, to seeing him move in and seeing all the kids together, man, it's an exciting day.
We're looking for the season to be the best season there is. So, here's Fred Spells. We got him in.
When you walk through Voorhess College, you are literally taking steps through history. When you look at things like this, these plaques right here, that signifies that a lot of these buildings are part of the National Historic Registry, which means we've been around for over 100 years, and we got plans to be around for hundreds of more years. But if anything was to ever happen to Voorhess College, they'd never be able to knock these buildings down. We capitalized that H in HBCU. Did you know that Voorhess College was the first HBCU founded by an African-American woman by the name of Elizabeth Evelyn Wright? Yes, she did it before Mary McLeod Bethune did hers and Bethune-Cookman. Voorhess College was the first, soon to be Voorhess University.
Listen,
White Spike Lee.
I may not be able to argue with Coach O on that. He might be the white Spike Lee. He really might be. Coach O, cool too, man. That's one of my guys on your staff. As I've gotten to know him, he's amazing. He gets shout outs from Dave too. Now we got our guy Bryce might take exception to the Alphas getting a shout out in this video.
I know. I thought about
that. But no, that's amazing. I love to see the excitement. And before we talk about the staff, I know you wanted to circle back and mention the staff, and we'll show those guys love. I love Coach J and O. But I just want to talk about the kids for a second. Mm-hmm. Coach, from afar, it feels like something really special is brewing in Denmark with these guys. Can you feel it? Do you know yet? Do you still need time to kind of see or whatever? What's your initial thought?
I think, a lot of times when you recruit and you see things progress, you kind of see, when you've been around, you see some special things. And that's what we see as a staff with this group. Starting off, we see some special things, how they've bonded before they even got here. Just little things that we've been able to see that we're excited about. And we think we can do something special. We think this group can do something special. Now, we've got to get on the court. They got to gel on the court. All that matters. But it starts off the court. And I think even like today, where you have, the returning guys who are coming back, sending messages like, hey, guys, let's lock in. It's go time. Like, we haven't started a workout yet as a team, per se, for us as coaches. And you've got our guys saying, hey, we hitting the track at 7:30 tonight without us.
Wow. So
that's different. I'll always let you know a player-led team is better than a coach-led team.
100%.
And right now, they want to lead. You see our leaders taking shape, and we're really excited about that, man. It's a breath of fresh air. You've got the older guys telling the young guys, come outside. Let's all get together. We're just getting here. Y'all been here for a week. Little stuff like that matters, man. Just like I told them last year when we were only able to get on Zoom before we got here in January, those Zooms are going to help us win a game somewhere down the road. This stuff that has nothing to do with basketball is going to help us win a game somewhere down the road.
I'm believing, and I don't know this to be sure, but that some of the guys from last year, with all the challenges, even with just being able to get together because they could not be together in large groups last year, I feel like that may have taught them something.
I agree.
Going into this season. But I love it. Because those things matter more than a lot of people think too. A lot of people think a team dinner or, hanging out with the team, going bowling and things like that really don't necessarily matter. It's about what happens in practice. But guys that have a chemistry with each other play better. And it's tough to explain.
And that's why you saw us play better when we got to February and March last year, because they were just getting to know each other in January. And 8 days later, you got to play some games. Come on, man. Where else does that happen? It doesn't happen anywhere else. That's usually impossible. So, that's kind of what I was saying before you saw the video. Like, as the guys were coming on campus, the feeling was so much different this year. And I'm not talking about in a bad way about last year, but you talk about getting these guys on January 4th last year, and all I had seen them was either on FaceTime or Zoom. So you don't know a whole lot about other than what they've told you, to now having a bunch of guys that you can see them all the way down the street and you know who they are, or you know exactly what makes them tick, or you're just so excited to see them because it's been so long. Like when that guy comes in and he's giving you that hug because you haven't seen him since about March, April. Like, that's different, man. It's just everything about it is different. And you talk about the staff, like knowing who Coach J and who Coach O are, instead of trying to get to know them, knowing what makes them tick, those guys knowing what makes me tick, all that is so important. And we've had so much time as a staff to bond since those moments of the season, and recruiting helped a whole lot of it.
Let's talk about the staff. We talked about how hard these guys are working. We definitely see evidence of what Coach O is able to bring to the table on and off the court. We know how hard Coach J works to make sure that everybody is prepared, and as far as video and everything that he does, that he brings to the table. How is that going, right? As far as you guys being able to gel and kind of develop a system for who's going to handle what and how things need to run.
All right, man, I think that's where April to now has been so crucial for us as a staff. Like Coach J understanding exactly what he's supposed to be, understanding what I like, don't like. Like it's so much easier now than when he was here in January trying to figure those things out. So now, he's already started working on itineraries, where we stand when we're on the road. Coach, here are 2 options. You choose the option, but not having 5 options, because he knows the 2 I want to choose, and knowing exactly when we want to get different places, making sure we have their schedules in place so we can now I can do the individual workouts and schedule the groups of individual workouts. Jay being on top of the academic portion of it. All that is so much better than where it was last year, because guys were new. Everybody was new. Everybody was trying to figure their way out. And now you've got guys who know everything about this campus, who they need to go to when their question needs to be asked, if something needs to be done. Then you got O on the flip side, who is repping up his game and recruiting, because that was something he had never done before. So him understanding that part of the game, being out on the road this spring and summer has really helped him. He's the best when it comes to on-court development, and also with the video. There are not a lot of programs, at this level that have somebody that can do that for that program, other than the SID, but we can do it in-house. And so that's really big for us. So those guys have really stepped their games up, man. Like without them, none of this, what we were talking about, the players that we were able to get this year, who we're recruiting next year, elite camps, getting guys on campus, making sure they have everything done. If it wasn't for those 2, it was tough. I remember I texted him, like I said, I believe it was this morning. I said, man, y'all don't realize that it was me that was having to do everything that I've been asking you guys to do. That's what I was doing from November to January last year. And to have you guys on board and helping with this process has been a blessing, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I will say you were always willing to work hard, Coach, but you got a little more zip now that you got some guys with you. You got
Right.
a little more zip. Has Coach J beat you to the gym yet?
He got me one day, and he was so happy. He was so happy about it too.
My man. Yes, sir. That's good. It's tough. Coach J talked about you being the early riser. Definitely tough to beat the head coach into the office, but I'm glad he got a win in, Coach. Keep going, Coach J.
And so now the crazy part about it now is that like everybody on campus, when everybody comes back, they know how early I'm up, not just Coach J, but President Hopkins. And so now the thing is, not only can you do that, but are you gonna go get on that track with Coach Huff in the morning to get that morning run in? So that's the thing around campus now.
I'm even having trouble keeping up with the podcast run gems that you drop every morning. I'm behind even on those. But no, I think every is iron sharpening iron.
Yeah.
Right. That's what I'm seeing from you guys. Iron sharpening iron. Hey, tell Coach O to get with me the next time y'all out recruiting. I got a special eye, and I'll share it with him.
All right.
That's my guy.
Gotcha.
Coach, so one thing that we wanted to really talk about too is we have a schedule.
We do.
And there's a lot to discuss on this schedule. Now, I don't know how far you want to go, but I'm going to try to press some buttons here as we talk about this scheduling and maybe get you to say something that you shouldn't say. But that's just like Coach Jay's goal is to beat you to the gym. My goal is to eventually get you to say something that you might shouldn't say. Here we go. I'm going to put this up for everybody. This is outstanding. I just want to, before I show it, I just want to commend you on number one, not running from it. You have so many young players coming off of a conference championship. It would have been easy to rest on that and schedule a lot of cupcakes, a lot of easy wins to kind of boost that number up and try to make a run in the conference tournament. But you didn't do that. You came back and scheduled very tough again. So as we show the schedule, I just want to get your thoughts on what went into creating this and what your thoughts were with scheduling with all these young guys. You have some returners, but you got a lot of young guys coming in as well.
We got a mix, man. You know, you've got 8 returners, you've got 9 new guys, and so what we wanted to do was we wanted to test ourselves. You know, we wanted to make sure that we were going to be ready when the time came for our conference tournament to be ready to go win it again. And I think that's what this schedule does for us right off the bat. And that's really what we wanted to do. You know, we don't just play NAIA schools. We've got, you know, a couple of games with some D2s here in South Carolina, which a lot of people will love. And we've got a couple of D1 games. But we're also playing some guys at NAIA who went deep in the tournament last year. You know, you talk about Faulkner. If I'm not mistaken, they went, you know, Elite 8, if I'm not mistaken, into the tournament, won their conference last year. You talk about Kaiser. You talk about Weber International. Teams like that, you know, who are very good. Florida College, who's in our conference, actually. Washington Venice, you know, in our conference, getting a chance to play them again after them not being able to play last year. Again, Morris, who's in our conference, playing them as they didn't get to play last year. You know, Carver Bible coming back, you know, and we all know how tough that game was. They play a lot of Division I schools. Getting Middle Georgia State, another tough NAIA game. Getting Payne back on the schedule. Payne has restarted their basketball program and getting a chance, a home and home with Payne. So we've got some things on that schedule. Getting to play a guy who I grew up loving his game, and Kenny Anderson, and getting a chance to play Fisk. So we've got some dogs on that schedule who, if we don't come out ready to play, then we're going to get beat, whether we're at home or on the road. And that's what it's all about. You got to bring your A game every night. It's not going to be easy, whether it's in conference, out of conference, and we've got to be ready to play. And it's our job as coaches to get these guys ready to play.
It is, when you look at the schedule, when you're putting together the schedule, is it a reflection of how you feel about your team? Or is it just a philosophy that you just want to challenge your guys no matter what every year?
I always want to challenge my guys. So I think that comes from who I am. But you also have to look at your team. And I think we had enough of a mix of old and new guys where we could really challenge them and do some things with what we were trying to do on the schedule. And I think, like I always say, we want guys on this team. You know, we have 4 pillars in our program. It's family, it's love and grace, and being a star, right? So we want them to be a star where their feet are planted at. And we believe we have guys on this team who are better than our level. And that's not to say anything about the NAIA level, but I just think we have guys that could play Division II, that could play Division I, and we wanted to make sure that they had an opportunity to showcase that. And that's what we thought our schedule was able to do. You know, Coach Jay and myself, and we definitely have some Georgia guys. So, yeah, we play a lot of South Carolina. We play a lot of teams out of Georgia because that fits with where our recruiting bread basket is. And we go to Florida because we've got, you know, Ezekiel Williamson Bay and Zach, you know, guys who are from Florida who are on our team. So that's our recruiting bread basket. So we want to play the Columbia Internationals. They're right up the road in Columbia. Why not play them? Why aren't you playing Allen? We are twice. We're playing Claflin for their homecoming, as a matter of fact. Even though they're a D2 school just like Allen. We're playing Morris, who's in our conference from South Carolina. But we're also playing the Truett McConnells and the Toccoa Falls and Middle Georgia State, you know, Coastal Georgia. So those are things that really matter to us. And, you know, we're going to take our shot. You know, who knows what happens when we travel up to Atlanta 2 times to play those big boys in Division I. But we're going to take our shot.
Coach, how do you feel about being scheduled for someone's homecoming?
I'll answer that.
This the one, Coach Jay. You hearing this, Coach Jay? This the one. Right, we got him now.
We have to schedule someone for our homecoming, so it has to happen, right?
He is good. He is really good. I remember as a high school kid playing, my high school coach always got fired up about playing on somebody's homecoming. Like, it was a big deal to go and try to ruin somebody's homecoming. Whether it was, I had multiple high school coaches, but I don't know if you remember Jeff Hall that used to play at University of Louisville, but he would always say, let's send them to the dance early. Let's send them to the dance early. Everybody leaving the game and going to the dance this game. Send them to the dance early. There's
something we talk about, homecoming or not. You talk about that Claflin game. Voorhess hasn't played Claflin in a long time. So being able to get that on the schedule, whether it's their homecoming or not, it was huge for both fan bases. Like, we're 30 minutes away. Like, that's huge for both fan bases.
It is.
To just make that little track up there, it's going to be rockets. It could have not been their homecoming. It wouldn't have mattered. But something that we talk about in our program is road kills. Like, we want to go on the road and get road kills. And when you get that road kill, the best thing about it is that clock winds down, or as it's winding down in the second half, it gets quieter and quieter and quieter and quieter. And then when it hits all those zeros, it's very quiet. And the only thing you hear is us and whoever we have in the stands that are cheering because we just walked out of there with a road kill. That's our only objective every time we go on the road. We don't care if it's a homecoming. We don't care if they're a bigger division than us. It's just to go get a road kill. We're going to take it one game at a time. And so that first game is South Carolina Faith A&M with our scrimmage. That's the only thing that matters right now as we're preparing when we start to get on the court. It's South Carolina Faith A&M. Then once that's over, it'll be Truett McConnell. Then once Truett McConnell's over, it'll be Oakwood University, and it'll go on and on and on like that.
I know you don't want to look ahead, right? And I know Coach does. But what would it be like for and not that Voorhess isn't used to winning. They are a very, very, like you showed me, there are so many trophies at Voorhess that there aren't enough trophy cases to put them all, right? So this is a program where the standard is excellence. However, what would the impact be to go beat a Payne or go beat a Claflin, or imagine going up the road to beat a Georgia State or a Kennesaw State? What does that do for not just Voorhess College?
I think what it would do would just it would really go back to what our 10th president, our new 10th president, Dr. Rodney Hopkins, our new motto is the next level of excellence. So going on to go beat one of those teams would just fall right in line to what he believes in. It's taking Voorhess College to the next level of excellence. And that's what we believe in our program. We know it won't be easy to do any of those things at any of those places. No game is easy. There's not a game on our schedule that we think we can just show up and play and think we're going to get a win. So we know we've got to go out and play and do those things. We got to execute. We've got to play together. We got to do all the things that we talk about. But it would be huge. I'm not going to lie and say it would not. It will just be a step in the right direction for where we're trying to go here at Voorhess. It'll help in our recruiting base. It'll help in us, Voorhess College, becoming Voorhess University next year. All those things matter when you're talking about where we're trying to go in the future. And I think not just with Voorhess, but you're talking about with any school at our level or D2 schools, playing a Division I. there are things that you look at it, and there are reasons why you want that opportunity. You want the opportunity to show that your guys at this level, your players, your college, your institution can play with the big boys, so to speak.
Coach, we know last year you had full game plan together, practice plans, everything that you wanted to execute. Did you learn anything from last season that you can bring into this season, especially now having more time, that helps you accomplish that goal of getting this program to the next level of excellence?
And as soon as our season ended, I began taking notes on what I felt we and I needed to do better. And it's a list of them. They're still in my phone, and whether it was something that was on the court, off the court. I don't think you should, as a coach or even in your individual life, you should always try to find things that you can get better at. And that's what I think we did as a staff. We sat down and talked about some things. There were things that in my mind I know we could get better. Some things in practice I thought we can get better. Some things even our players told us that we even tweaked last year that nobody talks about. We were so gung-ho about trying to put things in because we didn't have a whole lot of time. And I remember it really came from Malik Wood. He started it, shout out to EIE, Malik's company that he had before he came back and played. But the guys wanted to play more in practice. And usually that happens when, you have started practice on a regular basis at a regular time. But we had to sit back. I know I had to sit back and say, you know what, as much as you're trying to install stuff, because we didn't have a whole lot of time, we had to allow our guys to play more. And that allowed them to gel more with each other, knowing where somebody wanted to be on the court. So that was something that happened even in the midst of last season that's going to carry over to this year. But there's so many things, man, I've jotted down, whether it's a play here, play there, practice, something culture-wise, something just around the campus that you want to do, get better at. So you're always trying to get better, always.
For sure. I can't wait to be able to come up and be able to see those practices and see some guys. There's some guys on that roster that I really want to see, right? I really want to see Jordan Blue this year, right? Like I have really high expectations for him this year. I don't know that maybe even, and I'll let you answer this, that Jordan even knows how good he is.
It's funny because we've had conversations throughout the spring and summer after the season, and last year was Jordan's first time playing point guard in his life, really. And it was an adjustment for him. And you saw as the season went along, he got better. Now, we're talking about offensively, but if you go back and watch that film defensively, and Coach O, I wish he was on here because we talked about it just last week. Like, Jordan Blue was really good defensively for us, like really, really good. So now I think that's next step of him understanding the point guard position and what it takes to be a point guard. I think that's the next level for him. And I think you're going to see that vast improvement. And not just him, but we're talking about Ezekiel Williamson-Bey too. As a freshman getting there, and people don't realize like how important he was in the NAIA tournament game. When we got back in that game, he was on the floor. And I think that's going to be the next step, having those two guys along with the new guys that we're bringing in. Like, I love that position for us.
Definitely. It's going to be intense in practice for sure. I think I had that conversation with a parent of mine on my AAU team as well, when his son moved primarily from being a wing kind of scorer, two guard, type of scorer, to learning to be a point guard. And at first, his scoring really struggled. And I was trying to explain to his dad, even the angles that you're normally used to attacking are now gone, right? You have to learn it's not as small of a change as some people think.
That's why I tell people there's a difference in being a point guard or somebody that brings the ball up the floor. Those are two totally different things.
Yes.
And so, like, when we go back to Jordan, like, there were times last year he was so concerned about being a point guard that he was passing up open shots. But as the season went along, he understood that's the shot that coach wants me. I'm open. I'm supposed to take that shot. You know, or if we get 3 straight possessions and don't get three straight good possessions, you got to get us into something. Even if whatever I'm calling, it's got to go to the right person at the right time so we can get the shot we want. Not a wasted possession when somebody, you know, maybe jacks up an average shot. We want great shots, you know, from the right people in the right spots.
How much freedom, and I wasn't planning to ask this, but how much freedom do you give your guys to make calls on the floor?
It's funny because if we were on, you know, your regular show, Locke came to see us play. We were in Atlanta. We played Carver Bible. And there are some times where the players see stuff that a coach doesn't see. And they're like, "Oh, coach, this play, let's run that play back, or we're going to run it to this side." So I try to give my guys freedom like that. I know that probably comes from having some players that are now playing at higher levels and understanding that, you know, players that have great abilities can see things that sometimes coaches can't, or understand and knowing the spots to put them in, but allowing them to dictate after that, you know. So, you know, there are times when we want we need a bucket, we need a specific way to score that there are sets that we call. And there's sometimes we have some continuity stuff that allows them freedom to kind of play.
I love it. It's one thing that I noticed with AAU, in which we can gamble a lot more because the wins and losses, they can't fire me, coach. I started the organization. They can't fire me. So the wins and losses don't stack up. But what I did see from allowing players to take more responsibility, and I typically started with, you can't call plays on offense if you're not calling plays on defense. If you're not helping us run our defense, which a lot of people don't understand how that works, but the more we did it, giving certain players on our team the ability to say, "Hey, coach, we want to press after the next basket," right? And giving them the ability, no, call it on the floor. Stop talking to me. Go call it on the floor. Talk to your teammates. It gave them such a feeling of ownership. Like you said, player-run teams are better than, or player-led teams are better than coach-led teams. It gave them such a sense of ownership that they were so invested that what I saw from them, I wish I had done it much earlier in the season. What I saw from them is it boosted the communication as well. They started trying to, because now they made that call, we give up a basket. Now they're trying to figure out how to fix it and what went wrong, versus just coming back looking at me. Do you see any of that stuff with older guys, where the places where you give them that type of freedom? Are they used to doing this type of stuff already?
It depends on where they come from. And it's something that Coach Jay and Coach O and I talked about recently. It's why we like to recruit winners. We like to recruit guys who come from the right programs, because they have that aspect, that dynamic. They know what to look for when we start talking about that. Like, they know what it means to communicate in practice. They know what it means to play for the person next to them, to build that person up. They know what it means to compete. And there's no disrespect. You know, everybody can't win wherever they were, whether it was a high school player, a JUCO player, transfer player. Everybody's not going to win. But there are some attributes that we really want to look at. You know, is there a winning culture? They might didn't win when you were there, but is there a winning culture? Do we know that coach instills certain things in them? And we look at, you know, for instance, guys that we brought in, and you look at Trey Frazier. He was a state champion, right? You look at Fred Spells, and they won where he was. You look at Antonio Lewis when he was at, you know, Douglas County. They won. At Lithia Springs in Douglas County. They won. You look at Keyshawn Fleeton with Corey Black and Bocelli. They won 23 games last year, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. So little things like that matter, you know, when you're talking about or Khalil Cuffey. We know what he did when he was at Langston Hughes in high school under Coach Welch. They won championships. So those are the things that we kind of look at.
Outstanding. Wanted to show, as you talked about having guys at the next level, and we've talked about this a couple of times. Let's talk about making it to the next level from Voorhess.
Man, this is this hits home right here. Obviously, 2 weeks ago, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, there was an NBA draft, and a lot of people are watching, summer league right now. But it's something we tell our recruits. We even tell our players right now. From Little Denmark, South Carolina, at Voorhess College, you can go anywhere from here. And this is Jackie Dinkins, number 34 here at Voorhess back in the day, to him playing in the NBA for the Chicago Bulls. And as we tell anybody, there are only 2 people that ever wore the number 23 for the Chicago Bulls. One was the great MJ, and the other one was Jackie Dinkins from good old Voorhess College. And that's what we just try to tell our guys. It does not matter. If you watch that NBA draft, yeah, you got people that were, definitely playing at the Kentuckys and playing at those places. But we look at people, and I know this is the lower level Division I, but you look at people like Dame Lillard and Steph Curry, people like that who came from, what people may call mid to low major, Division I programs. But if you go back in the day, you look at Ben Wallace, from Virginia Union or Charles Oakley. We can keep going down the list of guys who played, NAIA Division II basketball. From my alma mater, Harold Ellis from Morehouse College. So we can keep going down a list of guys who, where you can go anywhere from here is what we try to tell them before he's college.
Saw a Division II guy get signed this year.
There were two NAIA guys who have signed. They went to draft the combine and they were in it. One was from Shawnee State. I think his wingspan was ridiculous. And I think he's on a summer league roster right now. So those things that our players like to see, that's something that we sell, and we want to get to a point where that's one of our guys. That maybe that's a Jordan Blue, maybe that's a Terrell Wyndham, maybe that's a Taiwan Blue Bowie or Hector Rosario, and the list goes on and on. Maybe it's one of those guys who's the next person that could be on a summer league roster or playing in the NBA or making money overseas or even in the TBT, because we had NAIA guys in the TBT.
For sure, and balling too.
Yes.
One thing that I commend about you though, Coach, is not only do you get it done on the floor, but in the community, you guys get it done as well. Let's talk about our Pack the Bus.
Man, this is we talk about those things that you think about after the season, and you say, man, I know it's not over. I know we're still in COVID, but it was something that just kept sticking with me all throughout last year. We didn't have opportunity to do anything community service-wise. We didn't have opportunity to do anything community service-wise. So as we were, I remember texting Corey Crosby and Hercules Davis, the head coaches at Bamberg and at Denmark House. I said, when do y'all start school? And they gave me the date. And I remember right then I emailed and I texted my AD and I said, hey, I want to do a giveaway. I want to do a school supply giveaway. And our AD went above and beyond, because I was just thinking Voorhess men basketball. And she went to the president and said, no, this is going to be a school thing that's going to be spearheaded by men's basketball. So on this Saturday, we're going to pack the bus and we're going to go to both Piggly Wigglies in the county that Voorhess sits in, which is Bamberg County. So you have these two cities, Bamberg and Denmark, and we're going to go to the Piggly Wiggly, and we're going to hand out school supplies free to anybody who comes up during those times. And I want to take the time to thank a group that you and I are both a part of, Mondre, Embrace Us, which Embrace Us is a group of people who want to train, of coaches and administrators and media in the basketball realm who want to transform, empower, and connect with people all around. And those people, when they heard the initiative we were doing, helped donate to what we were trying to do here at Voorhess, to help the community here at Voorhess. And I'm excited about it. Having our guys out there handing out the stuff on Saturday, I think it's going to be a great time. We thought about having them come to the gym, but we wanted to really get out in the community, and we wanted to hand it out where they are instead of where we are. I think that makes it a little bit more special. And it's something that you always know has been really big on my heart, is getting out in that community, man. Because I want them back in the gym supporting us, but we got to support them too.
It's amazing. You know, and I remember being a kid, um, showing up to those University of Louisville games. Whether these guys know it or not, they're heroes to these young people. They may not realize that they're in that position. I don't know that Dewan Wheat or
Right.
you know what I mean, Everett Sullivan, those guys realized that they were heroes of mine growing up as a kid watching those games. But having a chance to see those people give back and feel like that you matter to them as well is a very unique bonding experience between a college and uh, the community where that college sits. That's huge.
Man, I think there's something to be said about Voorhess College being here in this location for 125 years, right? It's coming up on our quintessential year of existence. So we've been serving this community for that long, right? So why not give back to the community that we've been serving for that long? That's the way I feel about it.
For sure. For sure. Ultimately, it ends up building what you have set out to do and what you've accomplished at so many other places. And that's build that family type of environment.
It's when we talk to recruits, when we talk to moms, dads, families, coaches, we don't shy away from it, man. I think any parent, any player that came on campus, whether it was a visit, whether it was move in, they saw really what this community, what Voorhess is about. And it's about family. And it's about relationships that last a lifetime. That's why you have so many Voorhess alum that continue to work here. I mean, let's think about it. We're not in a metropolitan city where they're saying, oh, man, I'm going to stay in Atlanta because there's so much to do. Or I'm going to stay in Columbia, or I'm going to stay in Nashville. You know, they want to stay home to a family that they've built here while they were here at Voorhess. And I think that's so great. You know, obviously, think about when we listened to Cam in that video we saw. He's a Voorhess alum. He's from your hometown who decided, I'm not going back to Kentucky. I'm staying here because I love what Voorhess taught me. I love what how it brought me to where I need to go. That begin, believe, become attitude is what we're about here at Voorhess.
It's definitely huge. I mean, yeah, coming from and people think, oh, it's Kentucky. No, Cam is from Louisville.
Yeah.
It is a stark contrast between life in Louisville and life in Denmark.
Mm-hmm.
But after coming around and being on campus and being able to see what you guys are doing, it's really easy. And hearing Cam's story, most importantly,
Yep.
Because he has a wonderful story about how Voorhess College basically changed his entire life, the trajectory of his entire life. You could definitely see how one could make that decision of, hey, this is where I belong, right? This is where everything changed for me. And this is where I belong. And you can definitely see Cam's passion to say, I want to give that experience or help be a part of that experience for another human being, which is very commendable.
Correct. I mean, it's a special place, man. It's a special place. As small as some people think it is, it's a special place, Voorhess College. I remember even last year, alum just can't wait till we get back on campus for homecoming. Can't wait till we get back on campus for homecoming. Can't wait to meet you in person, Coach. And those are the things that really matter around here, man. Just the camaraderie and what is here. You know, there are not a lot of places where you have a president's house, right? Because the president's house is on campus. And he says, no, this is our house. This isn't my house. This is our house. So when Coach, if you're bringing recruits and their families in and you need a place for them, you know, to sit down and really chop it up and you don't want to do it in your office, give me a heads up and we can make it happen over here. There's not a lot of places that you can do that at.
That is fantastic. I feel like maybe that's an invitation to go to the president's house when I'm back in town.
I knew you were saying it. I knew you were thinking it.
I don't know, but I feel like that's an invitation. But no, Coach, tremendous job. I'm extremely excited to see what yourself, Coach J, Coach O, what you guys are able to accomplish this season. Man, I can't wait to see some of the. And I don't want to call some of the kids' names out and make it seem like that those are just my guys or that you've told me some. I think people need to understand that. I like the guys, or I gravitate to the guys that I like, right? These are not based off of conversations that I'm having with you or Coach O or
Right.
Coach J. Like, I just like the guys that I like. Like, I was a Hector Rosario guy at Duluth High School.
You were.
Right? Like, that was, I went to your practice. I watched you guys in the summer, and I was like, yo, this is my guy.
I remember it.
Hey, Coach O, I'm telling you, I got that eye.
And here's what's crazy, like, just in a year, how things have changed. Like, Hector Rosario was at a different school, right?
Mm-hmm.
Got the opportunity to come to Voorhess College and became an NAIA All-American.
Mm.
So I hope everybody's listening to that.
Yes. Yes.
You know, and if you talk about Cam's story, and one day I want Hector Rosario to tell his story, because that's a kid who, as a ninth grader, got cut from his high school team, and I don't mean just varsity. I mean varsity, JV, ninth grade. Got cut from all, like, couldn't make one of those three teams, and here we are. He's an NAIA All-American.
I remember you telling me that story when I told you that was my guy.
Yep.
Yeah, it's I think there is a guy on this team for everybody. If you go and watch this team, they play so hard and with such passion. You're gonna walk out of there rooting for somebody or multiple players on that team because you want to see them do well and succeed.
Great guys, man. I think that's the biggest part of it. We've got really, really good guys, man. That's the culture of what we're trying to do. You know, I'm not afraid to admit, like, we'll take a guy who, if you want to use NBA 2K ratings or whatever you want to call it, we'll take the 89 guy who's a great character guy over a 95 rated guy who's going to give us trouble on and off the court.
For sure. For sure. Yep. Can't wait to see you guys, man. I can't wait to see, of course, you know, Coach, I always want to see you guys, you and Jay and O, but like I'm really eager to see, like, I want to see Zeke, man. I want to see Rosario, Blue, Christian Ford. I can't wait to watch him play. Like, I got some guys that I want to come and see. But to all the rest of the guys that are listening, hey, man, you might be the next person I go back to Huff and say, hey, Huff, this is my guy.
Right.
Like, you just got to go out there. You got to play hard. You got to show it. Once you show it to me, you know, I got the eye now. You never know what happens when I say, hey, Huff, this the one.
Right. Because he will let me, viewers out there, he will let me know when that text message will come. I told you. Remember when I told you that?
For sure. For sure. No, I can't wait. The excitement. I can't wait until, you know, the first official practices kick off. Are you guys doing like a Midnight Madness?
Oh, we're in the works. You can't throw everything at them at one time, man. Come on now, like, but it's in the works, man, and it's gonna be great. You know, it's all I can say right now.
Hey, listen. If anybody remembers, Huff did a Midnight Madness at Duluth High School that looked like a college level event. Just saying. Just saying. So, looking forward to it, man. Coach J, Coach O, glad you guys were able to come and check us out as well. Coach Huff, ready to see you guys get going. Can't wait to see the season get started.
And for all those listening, we're about shoot, what is this? The 22nd will be here pretty soon, so can't wait to get some guys that we want to evaluate more to elite camp. We've got a few spots left. I think Dre, you may be coming down, so you'll get a chance to see us then. I think we're gonna have some great talent in the building, man. I'm really excited about some of the kids that we've got coming from all over, man. South Carolina, Georgia, Florida. We even got some people coming from Mississippi, so we're excited about it. And we've invited some other coaches from around to come watch, man. We can't have everybody that's at elite camp. And we're just really here to try to help kids, man. That's always been my thing, man. I'm just really trying to help kids. And so if the kid doesn't fit us, he may fit somebody else, and we're not afraid to help that program out.
For sure. Coach, we appreciate the time. Appreciate you coming to hang out with us. We'll get more updates soon. If you're not registered for elite camp, you better get there. You better get there.
In a hurry now.
You better get there and get it done. Go to the Voorhess College, the Voorhess men's basketball IG account or Twitter page, and you can find out information of how to sign up for the elite camp. Let's go get it done. You can slide in the DMs, let me know, and I'll send you the information if you can't find it. But definitely something you want to take part in.
Definitely. Great show as always. Looking forward to seeing everybody back. If you have a chance to scoop by campus, don't be afraid to stop in and say hi. Stop in the gym. Those new scoreboards are up. Check them out on IG and Twitter. They look nice.
I love it. Hey, man, that's our show. We'll see you guys next week.